What do you think of the score? I think it was a beautiful goal by Asivar and Olympica.
Yeah. Hey, look, Vaughn shut up right on time. I love it.
Howdy, guys.
I love it.
All right there, Vaughn. I like that.
Hey, welcome everybody to CLTFC Fan TV for the fans by the fans. Damn it.
Damn it.
I'm JT. Hey, look at me. I'm up in like the upper left corner. I mean, that's great. That's my partner, come Lee. And below me, the vaunted Vaughn. And then diagonally from me, the man, the myth, not quite a legend, Jorge, aka Top Ben. And I'm thinking to myself, number one, I miss y'all. I feel like I haven't seen you. I mean, I'm looking forward to Saturday just to physically see y'all. But at the same time, I'm thinking there's some sort of news today. It's like something's going on. There's like an energy in the air or something. So I'm gonna leave it to y'all. I got my 22,
news, man. So,
I got my 22. And hey, Lee, you gotta turn that microphone up or something, man. I can't hear you so well.
Sorry. Is that better?
A little bit. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
maybe
I
me.
don't know.
I've been
Anyway,
there's been some adjustments on my computer again, so I need to
hey,
install it.
well, that's good. Welcome, y'all. Hey, subscribe, like, whatever. I'm
Yeah.
gonna shut up now.
So
Let's
the
go.
big news of the day today, and I want you guys to drop it in the comments. What y'all think about the new Spurs kit that's getting released on in July? That thing's badass, man. I'm ready to spend some money. I can see what I'm gonna get for Father's Day for sure, man. So yeah, so shout out
Another
to
plain white tee.
what? What?
Another plain white tee.
Oh man, that's brilliant. It's brilliant, man.
Jorge, you gotta hold that up higher, Jorge. I
Yeah.
just see the Miami. What's it say underneath that?
It doesn't matter. It just says Miami.
I know, man. So my man Jorge, he's already looking for apartments down there. He's looking to bounce. He's yeah. So I mean, this is a Charlotte show, and we were planning on talking about some Charlotte things, but screw it, man. What do we think of this Messi deal, Vaughn?
I don't know how to even put words to it, man. It is a watershed moment for the league, for the sport in America. I don't think any of us really thought it was ever going to happen. I think it's something that, especially if you're an MLS nerd, get pumped, get excited.
Right.
If you're a soccer fan in the U.S., we don't know what the long-term ramifications of this are, but I don't know if you can even understate it at all. It is such a huge moment. And that's why everyone's going all hype. It's crazy. The league bent over backwards to make this happen. Miami is bending over backwards to make it happen. And you're getting the GOAT, arguably the greatest of all time. 7-time Ballon d'Or winner, Champions League winner, multiple times over, World Cup champion, playing in Miami. It's absurd. It is really absurd. And I think that's why this is going to be a little messy party. This is when you can celebrate stuff that's good for the league and good for the growth of the sport here.
That's it. But this is funny, right? I mean,
about it. I mean,
what?
It was a joke. It was a joke. I remember over the years we've done this now, all four of y'all, or three of y'all, it was always a joke. Yeah, Messi's coming, but I mean, it's like, what are you? I mean, I texted Lee this morning like at 9:30 when I heard it, on sports radio, and I was like, is that real? Is it really happening? That's crazy.
Oh, trust me, it's happening because Jorge has done nothing but just text, and I don't know if he's happy or sad, right? Because I think you wanted him to go to Barcelona.
Yeah, man.
Right?
Listen, if I'm being completely honest with you, I'm heartbroken again, because one of my dreams was within this next year having Messi go to Barcelona and me going to Barcelona and watching him play for the club that I grew up watching, that I grew up loving, right? So it's kind of like a dream that's not going to come true for me anymore, which, that really sucks.
Well, I mean, a lot of
I
people
can't lie to you. To me, I would have much rather him go to Barcelona than him to come into the MLS. But having said that, if there is a second prize, right, then it's that we get to see him here in the league, right? And it does set, something. It says something about the pull that MLS or that the United States has, if we're looking at it from that aspect, because Saudi offered him over $1 billion. That's a lot of money to reject. It's not like he's gonna come here and not make any chump change, right? But I think he's prioritizing his family and what they want, right? So if it couldn't be Barcelona, then MLS is the next best option for him. And this is just gonna help all of us. It's gonna grow the MLS. It's gonna help the content creators. People are already profiting just off of their ticket sales and all the games that are left. You know what I'm saying? We're already seeing he's already helping the economy. That's how much of a GOAT he is. Right?
Yeah.
Not only does he get money, y'all are getting money as well.
Jorge, I love this metaphor or whatever, but it's so apt right now. A rising tide raises all ships. He's just bringing it in whatever ship you got, little whatever our thing we got going here. Our little dinghy's hanging out. I was like, hell yeah, we're going up too. It's great and it's crazy.
So a couple
Well,
things.
it opens a lot of doors. I mean, it pushes the envelope in so many different directions, right? Like, I'm sure it's somewhat we're going to talk about. Like, what happens to the MLS salary rules? What happens to the salary cap? LAFC, like, they're going to have to move on from Vela. Like, what do they do to compete with Messi? Like, it's going to change so much about the complexity of this league, how teams approach signings, how teams try to get to that same level. And, you know, yes, we're going to have to fight that. Is MLS a retirement league again? Did we ever get away from that? And it's like, at this point, who cares? Who cares?
I mean, but for a player his caliber, I don't think that can be said a retirement league, right? I mean,
exactly.
he could have gone anywhere in the world still, I think. But to Jorge's mentioned, you know, about the, you know, he's helping out with ticket sales and all that. The club opened up the top, or some of the top, for fan appreciation night, right? And I believe they were going to do that anyways. But when you go on there and look at the ticket prices, right? Instead of those $15 that they used to throw around out there, now they're starting off at like 75 for the very, very top row. And if you want the front row of the upper section, I believe it's $125. I mean, is the club gouging too?
Yeah, they definitely are, bro. I mean, they definitely are.
Yeah,
What do you
No.
know, Vaughn?
no, but I mean, not even going to AI and computer stuff, but it's just the fluctuation of the market that immediately. I'm sure they saw the demand, and they weren't like, yes, let's set it like this, and all of a sudden the computer system just said, okay, 125 is the number.
Are you talking about like dynamic pricing or something?
Yeah, dynamic. That's it, Lee. Thank you, Lee.
They could have done a
pricing.
T-Swift lottery on those tickets, and you would have had people from all over the world trying to get those tickets. Like, that they're accessible or have been accessible for under $100. No, they're not price gouging. They could hold out on those tickets for $400 and somebody would buy it. Like, and that's why they're reselling on the resale market. Like, no, the team could have gone absolutely bonkers with them, and I don't think they did.
The smart thing would have been, right, to buy the $29 tickets at in Miami, right? Buy 4 or 5 of those, right, for the games that they have in August and September, and resell the hell out of those, right? So I mean,
Not following.
So like, the reality is people want to see Messi.
Oh,
but I'm saying, like, you didn't even have to buy tickets at Bank of America. Like, yesterday, you could have bought 3 or 4 tickets priced at $29 each for games in Miami and resold those for $400 to $500.
I bought 5 tickets in Atlanta. I already sold them. I'm paying for everything. I'm making all the Atlanta folk pay. No,
that's right. Yeah, screw that city, man. Screw that city. I mean, it's gonna be fun to see him. I mean, you know, I don't know, depending on how pricey these tickets gets. I might go ahead and sell a couple just to pay my season tickets for next season.
Yeah, right. Ooh, I just had a great fun idea though. And if anyone from the club or anyone else out there that's got any pull is watching or listening to this now or in the future, this came from old JT from CLTFC Fan TV for the fans, by the fans. Damn it. We got the GOAT already here in town. And it's just funny. I was wearing this tonight, and he's not the best owner or whatever, but he's still the greatest of all time in basketball. And you got the GOAT coming to town. You know somehow they're going to put Messi and Jordan together. And my God, if I'm walking through the depths of Bank of America Stadium, and I've been close to Michael Jordan about 3 times in my life. I've never talked to him, but he's been like 10 feet away. If I see Jordan and Messi talking to each other, I'm going to be like, I don't know if I can even handle it.
I just want to see Messi with the real GOAT.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, like Kyle says, right? I mean, do we have a problem with Adidas and Apple also getting involved with the deal?
No, bro. Listen, you do whatever it takes to get Messi. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you have to give up your daughter, give up your daughter. Whatever you need to do.
PSG did that, right? For
you have
Mbappe,
no idea
right?
the extra stuff the Saudis offered that I've got exclusive access to, right? But we won't get into it.
Hold on, you have access to the stuff or to the information?
The information, chill out.
Oh, okay.
Well, and think of all the extra sponsors that are going to come to this league now because of Messi being part of it. You know, like this goes so far beyond ticket sales and jersey sales and Apple and Adidas. Like, thank God they have partners like Apple and Adidas, but also Apple and Adidas, they see the money that's coming.
Yeah,
like,
that's
this is a
true.
global play for Apple.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think we sort of touched on this at the beginning. I think Vaughn, you started kind of going there, right? How it helps the league and just helps the league grow itself. And obviously, I mean, people are going to be trying to buy these tickets up. The last game of the season, I believe, right? That was who we play is
Well,
Miami at
imagine,
home.
and
So
also,
October.
like, what if we make playoffs and have to play Inter Miami again in playoffs?
at home.
Yeah, so I mean, right? What if we end 8th and 9th, right? Which is that could easily happen, right? And we play them in a 3-match series, right? So
Yeah, but some
Oh,
other
right,
rumors are that
3-match
Miami's going to
series.
bring in a
Forgot
bunch of other players alongside him too, right?
yeah, bro, we're about to see
Okay.
Barcelona of 2011.
Miami might be out of the playoff pictures. That game could end up having no playoff implications and no Messi at all.
Right.
Does Messi play on turf?
That's a good question too.
Oh wow, that is a good
No, he
question.
might have thrown that in there. And any turf games, you can just leave me
Can
out.
you imagine if they?
Well, he also has a clause in his contract too, from what I've been seeing, that like it looks like I think they said it might be a 3-year deal, but like he has the option of leaving after every year. So I mean, so that's why these tickets are so high, because I mean there's no guarantee that he'll be here next year, which I mean, from what it sounds like he will, but right, if that option does exist for him to dip, that could
I'll dip, you dip, we dip. Hey, listen though, wouldn't it be cool though if Messi also, going back to the raising all the boats and ships, if he somehow forces the league to go all natural grass? If he's like, dude, I'm not going to play on this, and obviously I am,
Well, I mean, we got to put grass in for the golden when the U.S. men's national team
I know,
gets here.
and they
Right?
put grass in for the what was it, the Chelsea game?
I mean, they do it. They're gonna do it. If Messi demands it, they'll do it. You know?
Damn, I wish I had that kind of clout. You know what I mean? It's like, damn it, I want some grass in the stadium. Grass shows up in the stadium.
You do, hippie.
But I think the most important thing, which is what Vaughn says, like it should push the league to make some changes, make it more competitive.
I think salary cap for sure, right?
That, and then 20 senior roster slots. Like
that's tough too.
If we're gonna play 2-3 different competitions, you can't go out there. I mean, look at us, right? Like how depleted Charlotte FC is, right?
Well, international roster spots, if they're really trying to bring all of these friends of Messi, right? Like there's been rumors of Busquets, Di Maria, Jordi Alba.
Busquets looks very likely that's going to happen, but yeah, like he wants to bring Di Maria, Suarez, Jordi Alba.
If Miami is still not winning because guys are out injured or like they can't fit it in, they will adjust the rules. There is precedent with the LA Galaxy.
I mean,
MLS
Miami had like
will
6
change the rules
their first season, so I mean they could easily do it again.
Are you saying that he would bring his friends to play with him with Inter Miami or to the MLS in general?
Inter Miami.
Both. Well, I think both. I think he's going to have those guys we were just mentioning. They've been linked directly to play for Inter Miami, but there's going to be other players that are going to say, I want to go play in MLS and I want to play against Messi, or think of like the Thiago Almadas, right? You've already got these guys that are young, up and coming Argentines, Brazilians making the move to MLS. Well, now the appeal to go and maybe sign with Miami and play as a U22 or a young designated player, or shoot, just another guy that wants to come to MLS. Like it adds legitimacy to the league. Like it's huge. I mean,
it definitely does a lot.
We don't even know how all that plays in.
Yeah, it definitely does a lot for the league, I think. I just think they just need to start looking at getting rid of these TAM, GAM, and all the other AMs, right? And raise the salary cap a little bit. I think you tweeted something about it earlier, Vaughn, that caught my attention. I forget what you said, but it was pretty well put. I don't
know which one you're referring to regarding GAM, TAM, or
Beckham, I think it was something about the league. Well,
really good one, Vaughn, the really good one.
Oh, hold on, I'll see if I can find it.
Well, there's so many though.
Yeah, but anyways,
Vaughn, pick a number real quick while he's trying to find that. Between 1 and 22.
10 for Messi.
All right. So, do we think Westwood is the leader in the locker room at halftime? I mean, I know he was interviewed after the game and stuff, but he sounds like he's the one kind of took Fuchs' place. The older, been there, done that, came from Premier League. Is he the guy in the locker room at halftime that's really getting in people's faces? He's the leader.
I think it probably goes in a little bit of a rotation, but yeah, he's got the captain's armband. I think that's absolutely his. He's a big vocal leader, but do I think there's probably times that Kalina steps up or other guys that are in the locker room, Swiderski, Ujviak. Yeah, there's other vocal guys in there, but numero uno, yeah, probably Westwood.
The democracy for sure.
Did you find the tweet, Lee?
No, I gave up.
Thank you, Vaughn.
I gave up. I'll find it tomorrow and be
shit,
like,
man.
Vaughn, this is the one I meant. But yeah, anyways, I mean, the Messi thing was great, right? I mean, but we're Charlotte fans. We're not, well, 3 of us are Charlotte fans. 1 of us is a Miami fan now. And, he's not even paying attention. Look at him. Hey, Jorge, what you doing, man?
He's not even a fan.
Yeah. If you're not talking Miami, like, who is what? I'm just kidding.
Welcome.
No, I do agree with some of that in terms of the leadership aspect. I think Brian mentioned this on our show yesterday, right? One of the things that Charlotte looked to add this season, right, was players that could be an upgrade in a lot of different positions. I mean, obviously, Westwood has come in and been an upgrade in our midfield, right? And I think one of the reasons they signed him also was that leadership aspect that he can bring, right? I mean, I think we see that even like what game was it where Enzo was, kind of going crazy and he was like, you need to calm down and stay in the game, right? Like just different sort of.
Is that the LA game?
I don't know. I think it might have been Columbus. But I mean, that's kind of like those are the type of players you want to see come to Charlotte, right? Players that can be an upgrade to what we already have, right? Example, that ball he gave Copetti for the goal against Columbus.
You mean Carroll?
Yeah, I keep saying for Carroll, right?
Yeah.
And also, how he took responsibility for what happened, right, on Ajiman's first MLS debut game, right? So I mean, I think there's a lot of positives that a guy like Westwood has brought into this squad. And these are kind of the good things that you see and that you should praise Charlotte for doing.
Right. But, same thing, right? We kind of combine the Messi talk with Charlotte, right? Who the hell is going to be in that back line to stop Messi just running through and doing what Messi does?
I mean, it's going to be by committee. I mean, he's all over the place.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You're going to need Brant Bronico.
Line's terrible, right?
Yeah, Brant Bronico is probably going to have to 2-stud him a couple times, and
right.
you're probably going to need to change your tactic. I bet there's going to be a back 5 in that game. That's probably going to be a 5-4-1. Just park the bus or smother him in the midfield. And yeah, I mean that's what teams are going to do. It's going to be hack a Shack MLS style.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the number one priority needs to be upgrading our back line, right? I mean, we've seen it, right? I think our fullbacks, I mean, God bless Harrison a fool, but he's 36. You know what I'm saying? At the left back position, too, we don't really know. We don't really have somebody that we're confident, even in the right back position. I don't think Nathan has had a great season. And, it looks like Latanzo doesn't really rate Jalen like that to consistently play him, right? And then our center backs is also an issue. Taloma has not been it. Jan is not a long-term solution here, right? Malanda hasn't had a great season. We're getting Corujo back just now, right? So there has to be some changes done. I mean, also what's going on with Nuno and Andre? They're definitely going to be gone in the summer as well. So that'll open up some roster slots and some of that salary as well. So there's a lot of things that need to happen.
Let's put it this way: Nuno and Andre count more against the salary cap than Leo Messi.
It's crazy.
I was going to start a whole meme like Brant Bronico and Jan Sobocinski cost more against the salary cap than Leo Messi. Like, this is what's wrong with MLS roster.
I was going to say something's not right with that equation. Obviously.
Yeah.
Let's say he only accounts for like 680 something or something.
I think I'm going to take that and make it into a meme if you don't want.
I know. It's not good. It's really not good. But no, I mean, what does the team do on the back line? I don't know if Jorge even knows this. I'm writing an article right now talking about outside backs and specifically right back. Jalen Lindsey, like, he needs to be on the field.
He does,
The
right?
stats
I
and the
don't think
numbers
we
are
lost
absurd.
when we
He-
haven't
he-
lost when he's been on the pitch.
We've had some losses, but
Yeah, I was
his
gonna say-
stats are
This year,
Yeah.
his stats are on a whole nother level. Like in blocks, he is 99th percentile in the league in blocks. Assists, he has 4. Like, he's leading the team. Granted, some of those are secondary assists, but his effectiveness in limited minutes is, compared to the other guys on our roster, it's night and day. Like, it is, what he's done in his limited minutes has been very, very good. And the spot, like, what we need is stability. Like, our biggest challenge right now is just having a back line that is stable.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what
we need to get
saying.
Carujo in there. We need to get Malanda in there. We need to know who our best 11 is. And that's the challenge, is because of so many changes, so many different things that are happening. We haven't established that stability. Every time one guy looks like he's about to be healthy, somebody else falls off. And it just has been, and you're never going to have perfect health. Like, it's a long season, but it feels like we're not getting it all together at the same time.
The only issue, and I agree with you, I mean, I would start Jalen all day. The problem is Latanjo's not convinced.
Do we have any idea
If your
why?
head coach isn't convinced, right?
And I have some feelings on that too. Like, I think part of it is also other players on the field. Like, there's some things that I think Latanzio wants to happen on the field in terms of field tilt and gravity towards players, that because other guys are out, like, I think that if Camille Uzviak was on the pitch right now, Jalen Lindsey would be on the pitch right now.
There.
And there's a reason that's coinciding, right? I think that once you see Camille Uzviak back out there, you're going to see Lindsey get some of those minutes. But like, you have this tug and pull of like, okay, I want one guy to be able to get inverted. I want one guy to be able to stay home and play defensive. Well, he keeps having this mismatch of like, this guy's hurt at the time that I would want him on with this guy, and it's just not lining up. That's really what's been frustrating. The best stretch we had was when Jalen was starting at right back and you had Nathan Byrne starting at left back. Like our best left back has been Nathan Byrne.
Yeah. I mean, that says a lot there. I mean, I don't know. I think Bronico did pretty good at left back. I mean, that's right. I'm just kidding. I say that in spite of the fact that we have no depth. I think that's our biggest problem, right? I mean, I know the MLS makes those rules, but honestly, like some of these games, like the Philadelphia game, like, you know, Latanzio turns around to bring somebody on, and I mean, who's really there to bring on that can spark the team and give them that extra energy?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, right? I mean, you've got a whole bunch of who are you looking at? You're looking at Haggard, you're looking at Brandon, you're looking at Ajiman to come and make these changes. In reality, these guys are still young.
And you have a fifth of your salary cap devoted to Melo and Andre, or to Nuno Santos and Andre.
Right.
Like, those guys were part of the plan, and they're not able to be played for very clear reasons.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, like, you also, like, this is where Latanzio will get some heat as well. I mean, like, it's his decision not to include Melo in this squad currently, right? And I mean, that's a guy that we can use at that 9, right? That he's clearly shown that he has quality, right? So, I mean, when it's going good, it's working for him, right? But as we're seeing, not getting results, and if this continues and we're missing players, right, that pressure now goes back to the head coach.
Right.
Well, I mean, we saw Enzo training today. I mean, is he ready to come back, we think? I mean, it sounds like he thinks he is.
He definitely thinks he is, right? And so we saw it today, right? I mean, I posted it, Claudio posted it, you know, in that training session. Claudio said, "Hey, Enzo, how you feeling? Are you ready? What's going on?" And, you know, he looked. So this is what happened, right? So they're practicing, I don't know what the drill is called, right? But finishing in goal, right? Like, they're running towards the goal. Fuchs is playing a ball. I think it was Pop playing the other ball, and you have to finish it. One touch finish. He didn't participate in that, right? He heads over to the rondos, right? And that's when Claudio asked him, and he looked upset and said, "You know what? Like, I'm not. They don't respect me here, right?" I mean, he clearly is watching us record him, right? And we're media people, right? So, I mean, is that a message that he wanted out? maybe, right? But I don't think it helps, right?
Like out of Charlotte.
I don't know, but you can see
He's in an adjustment period. Like he hasn't come to the league and just tore it up, which I think is what he thought was going to happen. You know, like I think that things just haven't gone the way that like he expected, but it's a big change. Like he's got a young baby, he's got a new country that he's living in, thousands of miles away, a new league to learn from. Clearly, he needs to learn how refs are going to treat his game. So, like, you know, it's different.
But I
like
think
it's normal in MLS for that to happen. Now you want your DP that's a $5 million DP to like step in and be good and be scoring goals like crazy. And that hasn't happened, right? Like he's not hitting the numbers that Yakumakis is, but like that can come.
Right. But I think he's also had a level of unnecessary hate. But with some of his antics, he's proving those people right versus actually proving them wrong, right? So that's an issue as well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You know, the internet is a very toxic place if you let it go, right? I mean, geez, those two Facebook groups, man. I just post them, run. You know, I occasionally will reply to something, but man, for the most part, I just say what I gotta say and get out.
Honestly, I just go in there and troll.
Yeah. I've seen them. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. So we don't know if Enzo's going to be available then for the Seattle game, right?
Yeah, I mean, he could be on the bench. I mean, if he was with the squad, right, kind of training, kind of getting back into it, him and Camille, right, there's a possibility, right?
Yeah. I mean, is Carroll leaving? Is Carroll going to be there?
Yeah, he'll be here for this game, and then he's leaving after the Seattle game.
That's what I was going to ask about is with the international break, who's actually going somewhere?
Swiderski.
Only Swiderski. Everyone else is just hanging out in town or whatever going on.
I think it's just Europe's got their stuff going on. I don't think anything's going on down south that I know about.
So it's the European break. So when they say it's an international break, we need to qualify that.
Most of us know.
Man, I'm still learning this soccer thing with all your breaks. And
I mean, you know, because I mean, you know, Carroll is Polish, right?
I do know he is Polish, and I know that's from Poland.
That's it.
Throw a number out, Lee.
Throw a number out, Lee. Since West Ham finished like 14th in the league, I'm going to say 14th.
14. Nice.
Shout out to.
It was good to see Swiderski, as we're talking about him, the only one that's leaving for the European break. For the goal he scored against Columbus to pull it down and to finally finish with the beautiful nutmeg. But just, I mean, it seems like he's been so. What was it against Philadelphia? He had that one come down on the set play and just kind of put it directly to the keeper so softly, like he was trying to play it back to the keeper. To see him finish quickly and definitively, and then the nutmeg through the goalkeeper, that was great.
I will say that after the 3 goals went in, I turned the TV off and I refused to go back and watch the game. So I just saw the highlights. So that's the only reason I know what you're talking about.
Not a real fan then.
What? I was a frustrated fan, Jorge. I couldn't take it, man.
Crap. You're like those people that leave at halftime during their team. Yeah. You don't even have to leave. You just turned the TV off.
Hey,
I did. I actually turned on hockey, man. I flipped it over to the hockey and watched, I believe it was like Vegas versus Florida.
Man, that's some straight bullshit.
Yeah, I did.
I'll see you in Miami, Lee.
Yeah. Dang, son. You see me in Miami, man. Yes, that's it. No, but yeah, I mean, it was a good pass, right? And you know, the first touch was decent enough to put him in position to score, I guess.
Man.
Yeah, man. God knows, man. Everybody's gonna bash me now, but no, I was pissed. I couldn't handle it. You know, I just didn't want to watch it anymore. I wasn't gonna sit there and just watch us get blown away. And then when I did check the score, it was like 3-2, and I was like, shit, maybe I should turn it back on. And then it was 4-2, and I was like, no, I'm glad I didn't. So there's that. Talk about the game, Vaughn. What'd you think of the Columbus game, man?
I tweeted out about that. To me, I draw no conclusions from it. Like it was all like, you know, a funky lineup, lots of players out. It was a third road game in a row on short rest, tons of travel going LA, Philly, Columbus. we played our hearts out against Philly. So to me, the Columbus game was, of course, wanted it to go better. Definitely want to look more dangerous. Definitely don't want to get embarrassed. But you're going to have games that go like that. Like when you're our level, right? Like we're not a team that's in the top tier of the league. We're just not there yet. That's the reality of where we're at. And you want to limit those games. And it definitely felt like a step in the wrong direction. But if you'd have told me that from that road stretch of LA, Philly, and Columbus, all in like an 8-day window, that we'd walk away with 3 points, I'd been like, yeah, 3 is minimum, 4 would be good. Anything more would be like, holy cow, awesome. So like the stretch was what it was. Like we can't be so overreactionary to the result in the game. Of course, it didn't go the way we want. Of course, you want to show more fight than that. But I think it also can be something that the team can be like, wake up, let's not do that anymore, move on. And now this game against Seattle, we got to get it, guys. Like it's really important. And we've got to keep in pace with the other teams in the league. And thankfully, we're in a spot where we still can do that. We're not in a hole.
Yeah, I'd also argue though, Columbus was in they came off of a game on Wednesday night as well, though. So I mean, like it's not like they had some superior advantage to us.
They're playing in front of home fans. Like all the teams have that rotation. Yeah, but they've got Cucho out there, they've got Zella Rayan out there, right? Like they've got 2 DPs that are injured.
Yeah, what I would agree with you is that too. That we weren't optimistically we're expecting to get a result realistically, right? I wasn't expecting anything from Philly. I thought we could pull something out of Columbus, right?
Well, that's what I put down. That's what another thing that I said was that if you'd have told me at the start of the season that we would have a game that at the start, like the starting lineup, didn't have Carujo, Malanda, Uzviak, Kopetti, Melo, Nuno, Andre, like Gaines. If you told me that none of those guys were available, that we were not going to get a result in that game, most likely. Jones wasn't on the pitch to start the game.
Right.
Like we're missing so much in that lineup. Like that's why to me it's like, no, toss it out. It's an outlier. Had we won that game, I would have said the same thing. I'd have been like, great, awesome result. But is that indicative of what is going to happen moving forward? No, it's just like, great. We won a couple games when we had Quinn McNeil starting. Like that's going to happen. But this loss was just a loss. You're going to have them. It's on the road.
Those 3 points against LA Galaxy are coming in very valuable too, because we're still in it, right? We had an opportunity to solidify ourselves a little bit more in a playoff spot, right? But the reality is we're just really still in the mix. I think too, these guys now get a whole week to prepare for this game, which is great, right? So instead of Saturday, Wednesday, right? They kind of go to a more 7-day stretch, right, where they can kind of get ready. Like one of the things we saw was it seems like that team lacked the energy, lacked the intensity, and it's because of that. So many games coming so fast, and so many.
Seattle's a tough team though to come back and play at home with, though, right? I mean, they're not a terrible team, right?
But I did some research, and this is number 17.
Go ahead, JT.
Seattle. And I think I might have this phrasing correct. Seattle had a derby with their arch enemy, the Portland Timbers.
Yes.
And they finished 0-0.
Yes.
And I think they got a little worn out. And they also have to fly all the way over east, which does mess with the system a little bit. So I'm kind of thinking that Seattle's a little down.
But I also think we've pulled results.
JT.
Man.
We've also pulled results too of I'm not saying we're not expected to win against Seattle, but if we lost against Seattle, nobody would be surprised, right? But when Columbus came here in good form, we beat them. We beat New York at home. We went away and beat Orlando, right? So we've been able to pull results that maybe on paper you would say this is a game that we could potentially lose.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, if you take a look at the East standings right now, it's really, really straightforward that we're right where we're supposed to be in terms of who we can beat and who we can't beat.
Columbus is one of them
teams. But if you look at all of the playoff teams, all of the teams that are directly ahead of us, we have had tight results, like one goal losses to New England, 1 goal loss to Nashville, the 1 goal loss to New England. Those games were tight, right? But we lost those games. We're coming out just on the wrong side of those results. Atlanta, we split the season series. What was the other team that we split the season series already with? I'm forgetting. But the teams that are below us in the standings, those are the teams that we're beating. So what we have to do is we have to start finding those results against the teams that are just ahead of us in the standings to try and pass them. And the big time that for us, if you really look at the schedule, is going to be in September. September is when it gets tough. That's when our season is going to be made or broken, is if we can round into form, round into health, and be clicking in September. If we're clicking in September and we're beating those teams that are in the East that are ahead of us in the standings, that is when we're going to actually see where the level of this team is.
Yeah, and the beautiful thing too is like we'll be able to make some changes here with when the window opens as well, right? I mean, like Charlotte is preparing, right? So we'll see, because some of the deals that they wanted to as well in January fell through. Hopefully they can get. I mean, the priority is get rid of Nuno, get rid of Andre ASAP, right? Free up that space and bring in some quality players in here to help us push, right?
But the question is,
and it was Nashville, New England, and Philly. Yeah, Josh,
Yeah.
I'm not drinking, but those were the 3 teams that we had 1-goal losses to.
Yeah, I mean, the question is though, is like it's right. Yes, the July 5th opens up the summer window for MLS, right? But it's like, what position or what positions are we gonna, and what quality players are we gonna be able to get? I guess the good thing is that most of Europe, at least, or the rest of the world, even, right, is done. So it's like their season is over. So it might be a little easier to pick up some players. But like, I don't. It's like we can't put. There's not one part of the team that you can say, all right, if we had a quality left back, that would kind of help us, right? There's various pieces missing, and some of it's not personnel, right? Go ahead, Vaughn. Disagree.
Defense.
No, I don't think. I think it's in the midfield, right? Like we saw that the team was going after Jack Byrne and was very close to that. Jack Byrne is another attack-minded midfielder. What's challenging for us right now is the offensive contributions coming from midfield are really limited. Like outside of Bronico making an occasional run, for a miracle goal, he's got 1 goal to his name, and I think he's got 1 or 2 assists. He's not very good in progressive passing, or has not been consistent in progressive passing. Derek Jones is not going to score a lot of goals for us, and is not going to be feeding guys, across lines. And the guy that's supposed to be doing that is Westwood, but Westwood, it's mixed. So to me, that's where we need to have the biggest step forward. Like, we're getting goal contributions from our wingers. We're getting guys getting forward and being able to be effective, whether it was Harrison Awful. He's at, I think, 3 or 4 assists. Harrison Awful, Jalen Lindsay. We've had guys that have taken their turn at outside back, contributing offensively. It's not happening in midfield, and that's what's going to have to change. And that's also where we're lacking the 2 guys that we're playing in the midfield.
Yeah, but
Andre Nuno and even Bender. Like, Bender was 9 goals for us last year. He's not getting anywhere close to that.
But I mean, then there's also the stupid mistakes that we make at the back, right? At least like gift goals, right? I mean,
but those are also born from the midfield, in my opinion. It's either cheap giveaways. It's either cheap giveaways where they're starting those quick transitions, or it's somebody that once that ball is given away, we're not doing a quick counter press and preventing either the entry ball or letting that switch happen that's opening up the defense, right? Like that's all it is. Like the way you correct that is to literally close space quicker and be a little more protective of the ball in midfield. If that was happening, like we're not getting beat that much when our defense is set. It's all in transition.
Right.
It's like 85% is in transition. So we just have to limit those moments. And the problem is those moments are happening frequently, and we're getting burned over and over and over again on them.
Yeah. So you mentioned Jack coming over, right? Jack Byrne. Byrne is that how you pronounce his last name, right? Has anybody checked recently to see how? Because I know the reason the team didn't want to get rid of him was because they were looking to get into Europe, right?
I think he re-signed.
Did he re-sign? I haven't followed up on that. Yep. So Kyle's got a question. Is the lack of progression from midfield due to lack of depth or quality, or a tactical style, or even both?
My opinion is it's the personnel. I think you don't have guys that are like that's not how they're wired. You know what I mean? Like Bronica, we know what he is. He's all motor, he's all aggression, he's all covering turf. Derek Jones, we know that he is not going to be looking to make a one-touch pass ever. like he's going to protect the ball, he's going to hold it, he's going to body a guy, he's going to get a turn, and he's not going to have somebody that gets it off of his foot very easily. But he's also not a guy that's going to be hitting a 30-yard diagonal. Like that's just not what's in his wheelhouse. Like the only guy in midfield that is wired that way is Westwood and Swiderski when he's there, but you're asking him to shift lines. I don't think it's really tactical. I think it's that the personnel that is available, you see what their skill sets are, and what's happening is we end up not being hyper progressive.
For sure. And I mean, but you also have to think too, we got a guy like Nikola Petkovic in Crown Legacy as well, right? What's the plan with him? When is he gonna come in? Clearly, like you mentioned, I agree with you. I think we'll see a signing in the midfield, but I also think we need signings in our back line as well, center back and in the fullback position as well, right? I mean, you're 100% right. Like it's the players that we have versus how we want to play, right? And what we've seen from Lattanzio is like that's not going to change. How we want to play will not change. So I mean, some of these things will be addressed, right? With Nuno Santos, what is he? He's the 5th highest paid player, right? He was supposed to come in and contribute to this team, right? So as soon as he's gone, that needs to be replaced ASAP.
Who do we get? Like, because Tepper's not going to drop the money, right? And obviously our DP spots are all pretty much taken, if not all taken, right?
Isco, bro, go for
so, I mean, what's that?
Isco.
I mean, are we going to get – it's tough, right? I mean, this is where I think the MLS and the salary cap and the rules are all in place kind of limits the league, right? I mean, it's like you have your DP players that are the ones that are supposed to be good and great and do all this. And then as you look down the rest of the chart, the talent just drops off.
Yeah.
Yes and no. I mean, we could have a guy that is $1 million a year cap hit and buy that guy down below the max salary cap. And that player would be good in MLS, right? Like we could get a different profile number 6. Love Derek Jones. He's great. He's probably our best number 6 that we've got on the roster. But if you have a guy that's a number 6, like a Jose Martinez out of Philadelphia, who's a bruiser, ball winner, spreads the ball, like is more multifaceted, like he's a guy that's in a different pay tier, but totally possible to be added to the roster. So I don't know. We could go out and get another guy that's within MLS. We could make a trade. That happened last year where we made trades in this or later in the year.
So
what's the trade window? What's the trade window?
July
5th. I love that tonight I dropped some knowledge and stepped my game up, and then like Vaughn and Jorge are like, you know what, JT, man, you don't know shit, man. Let me drop this on you.
JT, you did great, man. JT,
No, I'm kidding.
We were all proud of you,
love
man.
the knowledge. I love the knowledge.
I also think too, you start looking at the profile of players that Lattanzio likes as well, like hardworking, right, aggressive on and off the ball, right. So when you're looking at midfield players that have those creative characteristics, like that are creative players, they're also going to have to bring that in, right? Because if they don't, like they're going to have very limited minutes under a coach like Lattanzio. Because I mean, like you see, Chris Hagar has that skill set, but maybe he doesn't track back or does the work off the ball that Lattanzio wants. Same thing with Nuno. How long were we calling for Nuno until we finally saw progression of games for him?
I don't know. I don't think he had enough. I don't think he had a good chance, really, to be honest.
There's only been 4 players that have been brought in since like Lattanzio was the guy, was the head coach, and like had that vote of confidence, and like they're really talking to him and taking his word as like, hey, what do you need for this roster? Those 4 guys are Enzo Capetti, Ashley Westwood, Bill Tuiloma, and Justin Merrim. Like that's it, right? And like 2 of those were signed out of immediate necessity, right? Bill Tuiloma and Justin Merrim. I don't know if either one of them were in the plans, but they were deals that were made very quickly. Right?
Yeah,
Love
I
some
agree.
Miram. Love my boy Miram.
So
I'm a big fan of Miram.
Yeah.
I can assure you too that Toloma wasn't the first option at center back.
No, of course not. But I mean, we
For-
keep
for-
saying
for
like when this
replacing
window,
Anton.
we keep saying when this window opens, we're going to get rid of Andre and Nunes. Are we? I mean, Andre's got what, like 2 years left on his contract? Yeah, I mean,
Definitely.
David here says it right. I mean, he's got 2 years on his contract. Nunes is up. I mean, are we going to give these guys away at cut prices, take our loss, and move on, or are we going to just like kill?
You can do
Well,
one
you also have to
off-season
think-
buyout. You can do
What's
one
that?
off-season buyout. So if
Yeah.
you've got one that's expiring, you
Yeah.
can wait in the off-season and get the other one bought out.
Yeah,
That's fair.
and also you also have to think about the player too. I don't think they want to be in the situation they are here, right? I mean,
It's gotta suck. Are they even
he
training?
try to get that move to go through as well. So it's not like he's pushing to stay here. Nuno, I know for a fact, wants to leave Charlotte as well, right? So you also consider that, right? So I'm sure both parties are going to work something out to get gone ASAP.
Well, and Charlotte wants to also recoup investment. Like
Yeah.
they spent like I think almost $2 million on the transfer for Nuno Santos, and then for Andre, like oodles of allocation money. Not like crazy amount of allocation money, but they spent a good chunk of allocation money. Like
Oodles.
there's other assets invested in these guys beyond salary.
Yeah, but then you also have to think about too, like, hey, you sold Rios at a profit, you sold Sergio at a profit, you sold Riley at a profit, right? So it can't all be about, all right, you need to cut your loss. They cut their loss with
They're cutting their losses by paying them right now.
400K.
They're paying the guys over $1 million right now to not play, to
Right.
be away. Don't be here.
Exactly.
It's sad. It's sad. The whole situation's sad. Sucks. But anyways, yes.
Meanwhile, St. Louis is doing so well, which I mean, I'm still kind of
See, we were sold St. Louis, man, and we got yesterday's Miami.
But see, like, but that's the thing in MLS, right? Like what St. Louis did, there is not that different than how we built our team. Like there's very, very little difference. It all came together and the magic happened.
That
Like, the
PSL,
ingredients.
that PSL curse, man.
Yeah, curse.
Nah,
It is,
Bones
man.
is saying it's a crapshoot. It's a crapshoot.
MLS is a
Some
crapshoot.
injuries.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, backing up to everything in Messi as well, let us never forget that this is a business. This is an entertainment business. And the majority of things that drive it, besides us being the fuel of the fire, is entertainment for money. So, yeah.
They're giving us content, right? Like there's plenty to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah, they don't.
we got
there's
the
no-
melodrama.
Yeah, we got all kinds of drama. And I mean, so this is my my cousin over in England, right? He's a West Ham fan, so he's all happy tonight, and obviously up still drinking on that win. So Declan Rice is on his way, coming our way apparently. So we'll take him.
Too.
Tio. Your cousin's a storm wizard?
That's what he says.
Damn right.
He's
Storm
old as hell
Wizard.
though. He's old as hell though. Look, 1968, man. I'm surprised he even knows how to use a
Yeah,
computer.
Too old.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
Too old. Storm
that,
Wizard
John.
don't take that shit from Lee.
Yeah. Yep. It's the PSL curse, man. Telling you, there's not one in the city for sure. And they got a new stadium. So, you know, there's a lot different than in Charlotte.
Rigged.
So yes, it's all rigged. It's all rigged. So anywho, so I don't know, man. It'd be interesting to see, right? So there's some comments I had starred here that I want to call out. So the first one is Jorge, you're a bandwagon fan. You jumped from being a DC fan because they got one Horus player. So what is it? Charlotte,
Hold it up higher.
DC, or
Hold it up
Miami,
higher.
my man?
Messi FC, dog.
Messi FC. Damn, over a countryman.
What was it? Mississippi?
Yeah,
Ah.
Messi. Listen, bro, give him Huntersville. Let him start an MLS team there, right next to that new beach they're planning on building, and call it a day.
That's right. That's right. Fair enough. Fair enough. And yes, you know, I feel like there's going to be a lot of toxic Messi fans around. We actually have one on the show tonight, and his name's Jorge. So there's that.
Messi wasn't even the biggest move today for the league.
I know. So going back to the biggest thing of the day, bam! Look at that kit, yo, man. That gets released.
Real
Man.
Salt
Such
Lake
a
made the
beautiful
biggest
thing.
move.
What's that?
Real Salt Lake made the biggest move.
Yeah, they
Chicho
actually did.
Arango.
Yes, they did. Yeah, they did. That was a pretty interesting move. That was a big deal, right? So I think we touched on this earlier, right? I think we mentioned some of the names that follow Messi over, man. Anybody you thought about after that you want to mention?
Yeah, definitely Sergio. Sergio, I think, is 95% done, right? Everybody else is speculation. In the words of Zoran.
I could see Luis Suarez.
Yeah, I could see him coming too.
That'd be interesting
But
to
I think
see.
in terms of like what's legitimately gonna happen is Busquets.
Yeah.
That's it. Interesting. Oh yeah, shout out to our friends over at Carolina Hooligans. They were on Queen City News at 4, so they were interviewed. They probably showed it again around 10 o'clock, so maybe we'll or the 11 o'clock news, whatever time they showed it. So shout out to those guys. So I think Pancake started this rumor, man. He posted something this morning and it said like he was coming to Charlotte because now Messi's going to Miami. So I think that's all bullshit in my opinion. So
It is.
yeah, I laughed when I saw that comment, so I had to star it, man. So yeah. And what else? What names are we hearing in the transfer window for Charlotte? Anything?
Nothing.
I'm pretty
yet.
quiet.
Yeah.
How
nothing
long
yet.
is the window? I asked that earlier, but we were all talking over.
Till like the end of August, I think.
I think it's 8 feet by 6.
Yeah, it depends though, right? I mean, if it's a tall building,
It's a Jibble Payne window. You are
Yeah.
hilarious, Jorge.
no.
Hilarious.
I haven't heard anything for Charlotte in regards to Charlotte coming. I don't know. I guess we just speculate, and you know what we do when we speculate, we drink.
I know Zoran's going to be on WFNZ tomorrow morning.
What time do you know?
Sometime. I mean, I'm thinking 8, 7:30, 8. I'm not quite sure.
Hmm.
But I think Willie P is subbing for Mac, so should be a decent interview. But yeah, he's definitely going to be on tomorrow morning. It'll be interesting to see what he says about stuff.
Oh, yeah, Jamie Vardy, Charlotte. Nah, he's washed up, man. He can stay with Leicester in the championship there, which is, by the way, it looks like a really tough league as of late. So, anyways, yep, yeah, Pancake is breaking the. He starts at the breakfast.
There are several guys that came available from Leicester City. Keep an eye on.
Yeah,
Not any known rumors, but there are good connections between Christian Fuchs and Steve Walsh. So
yeah, I mean that's huge, right? I mean that's one
You
of the
wanna
reasons
speculate.
Fuchs came to Charlotte. Yeah,
Hey, is the game at 7 or 7:30? For some reason, I thought I heard
7:30.
something. It's at 7:30, like they always are.
yeah, but
Hey,
tough to
Vaughn and Jorge and Lee, what do you think the over/under is this summer for games that are delayed because they're always at 7:30? Thank you, Apple TV or whatever. If only they could play like at 2:30 before the thunderstorm just bloom here in the South. What are we thinking the over/under it is for delayed games? I think last season it was probably 5, not definitely 4.
5.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, hell, it was just last week, right? The game was delayed because of weather.
If there's a thunder strike,
Are
like
you talking about just Charlotte or all
no,
of
yeah,
them in
just
general?
Charlotte. I'm just saying, summertime is here.
There's at least
Pretty
3
hot.
to 4 games that get
Yeah,
delayed.
I want to say there was 3. I vividly remember the Columbus game.
It was hot as hell too, standing in
Yeah,
those
but
consoles, man.
the one game, I think. But anyway, nonetheless.
Yeah.
What's
I'm
your?
saying
what's
3 to
your-
4.
You're gonna go 4.
Yeah, I'll go 3.
I'll go 2.
What are you gonna go 5, JT?
No, I definitely don't want that. I'm gonna go 1.
There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect.
Oh,
So score predictions this weekend. Y'all tell us what you think too in the comments, and if you're new here, hit that sub button for us. Who do we start with? JT, we'll start with you, man.
Three, 2, Charlotte.
Charlotte. Interesting.
Westwood scores 1. Swiderski scores 1. And Ben Vinny scores the other.
All right, that's fair. All right, Jorge, what do you think, man?
I think it will be a magical night at the bank. Charlotte will play well. We'll be up 1-0 again from some. We'll see Messi magic in Miami, but right now we're seeing Mero magic at the bank. So he scores, puts us 1-0. We'll be controlling the game. At minute 82, our defense is going to do something terrible, and they're going to tie it up, and the game will end 1-1.
You guarantee that our defense would do something terrible. I mean, I wonder if we could put money on that. I feel like I could win something with a
Hey,
loss, maybe.
the North Carolina legislature is supposed to vote on
They've already
today
approved it.
tonight to pass the legal gambling. So in the
Yeah,
near
but it's
future,
not going to be ready until like January or some bullshit.
dude, you are so old. January is going to be like this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
we won't be
even know how-
playing in January.
That's a long time for Jorge.
I can't bet on Milando like having to screw up and passing it back to Kalina and somebody scoring, can I? In
I'm
January.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm
Jesus.
sorry.
Anywho, Vaughn, man, what do you think the score is going to be?
1-0. Westwood on a corner finds Ajimong, who's going to dunk on him, and he's going to open up his account. It's going to be a 1-0 win for Charlotte.
See, I think we're going to lose 3-1.
But
think
you've
we're
been
just-
doing that. You've been saying it because that's your whole thing.
No. When I started, we lost. Who did we lose to? Nashville. When I said we was going to lose 2-1, and then I started saying we were going to win 2-1, and we lost both Philly and Columbus. So we're losing 3-1.
Not a real fan. You're not a real fan.
I'm a realist.
No.
You know, I've learned a lot
He's a
about.
realist fan.
Yes, realist fan. Yes. So, anyways, well, with that being said, do you have something to say, Top Ben? You were going to say something.
Yeah, I mean, listen, guys, we are in unprecedented times, right? The greatest player to ever touch a ball is coming to Major League Soccer, and we get to witness him at Bank of America. Ballon d'Or winner, Champions League winner, World Cup winner, right? The one, the only, the greatest to ever do it in our lifetime. We will never
Scared to
see
play in
another
Europe.
player of this
England.
magnitude again, right? In one of the greatest Barcelona sides to ever exist, right? In an average Argentina side, he went in there and pulled a World Cup for them. One of the
We
greatest
got lucky with a bunch of
ever
penalties.
do it in history.
Do you know how many penalty calls he's going to get in MLS?
Yeah, all of them. And Enzo's going to be like, "What the fuck?" Right? I can't even get one.
Nice. Just
Hey,
that-
Jorge, a little bit of seriousness though. You know, with the media pass and stuff, how do you think you're going to feel when you're like
Point I
on
said.
the pitch before the game and there, you know, however far away from you, there's Messi, the greatest ever. Like, holy shit!
I'm gonna run on the
standing-
pitch and just hug him.
I wouldn't suggest that. From experience with Bank of America security, I wouldn't do that. Just throwing that out there.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna dress up as Sir Minty and go into their locker room and just.
And what's Melo going to do?
He's gonna play that game.
Yeah. Is he? I don't know. He's definitely taken that job to heart, man. I think he really likes it, right? I mean, but yeah, the tickets right now, if you just wanted to buy a ticket in the supporter section on the market, the cheapest ticket you're going to get this minute is $398 plus fees. $389 plus fees.
Where-
Yep.
Where are you seeing that?
Ticketmaster.
Wow.
Wow.
Yep. And then the
Actually,
top
you
tickets-
probably would be better off just getting a half-season ticket deal.
probably won't
and
even
then-
sell you any more season
I know,
tickets for
right?
this. Right? I mean, the top tier, what they opened today, I mean, the cheapest is going for about $180 right now.
You don't think they're like as
that's
busy as
125.
bees over there with what's going on? Or
Oh,
Hornets?
Joe's loving it, man. He's
Oh,
like,
yeah,
"Sell them
hell
tickets,
yeah.
man. Sell them
Yeah.
tickets,
It was a-
man.
it was
Bring
a-
me the money, man. My
It's
bonus
no
is counting on
slapstick
this.
joke.
Give me them damn
You
tickets.
get a season ticket.
No,
You
he's
get a
like,
season ticket.
God, he was
Sell,
he said-
sell,
he
sell,
even
sell.
said, he's like, you know what? Today they're gonna announce Messi. I don't want anybody picking up calling. Let the calls come to us.
Right.
Right?
He's like,
That's
"Boys,
exactly what's going down.
Hey, everybody,
Nobody's
stop what you're
leaving-
doing.
Nobody's leaving this office.
Yeah, nah, man. If we're gonna order in some pizza, man, we'll get a couple of cases of beer or something down there at the stadium. You know, yeah, we'll be good. We'll be good. Just bring me the tickets, man. Bring me the tickets. Yes. So it'd be interesting to see. Well, anyways,
Also, us having a stadium that big,
yeah. I mean, that's
Oh,
another thing.
God,
We
check
could
out.
possibly, if
I'll put it all up.
is that stadium bigger than Atlanta's? I don't think it is it?
It is.
It is bigger.
Yeah, yeah. Do you guys think we'll break the attendance record?
That's
for
where I
this
was
game?
going with that.
I think we'll break our attendance record. I think the El Trafico that's going to end up at Rose Bowl is going to be the one.
You think?
Yeah.
Be interesting to see.
Well, they're
Be
talking
interesting to
about
see.
moving the Miami games to the Hard Rock. What's the capacity on that stadium?
I think it's not bigger than ours.
Okay.
I don't remember how much it is.
75,000 for us, man. That's our goal. We can do it. We can
Hard
do it.
Rock Stadium's only 65.
Yeah, I mean, there was talk today. Seriously though, like I think they said 8,000 in the morning, and then somewhere it went to 10,000. Yeah. So again, you know, Joe's just sitting at home today, smoking a big cigar. He's loving life.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe.
Bro,
I
I don't
appreciate
think
you
he's the
watching,
only
man.
one. You
What's
know,
that?
there's tons of MLS teams right now. There's tons of fans, right? I think I saw someone also make a couple $1,000 selling a couple of tickets.
That's
Yeah,
crazy,
that's
dude.
gonna
That's
pay
crazy.
for their season ticket next year, right? So
Hey,
the Messi effect.
just
That's it.
remember all the OGs, everybody here, you were around before Messi.
That's right. That's right.
Messi leads soccer.
That's
BM.
it. But if
before
you're
Messi.
new here, though, just hit that sub button. Welcome to the show, man. Yes, we love y'all.
Before Messi and at BM and after him. I guess BM's also bowel movement, so whatever. Nonetheless,
Gross. So, all right, that's it. Let's wrap it up. Vaughn, where can people find you, man?
At VI Pullman, right down there. Oh, I did it right there. Yeah, something like that. There we go.
it's hard to do that, Vaughn, until you see yourself. You're like, shit.
Oh shit. Yeah. So, just real quick, Hard Rock 65, Atlanta 71.
We got that in.
Yes.
We had 72, 500, whatever.
At 74 or something.
Yeah. Close
Anyways, top in for people
You
that
can
don't
find
know.
me in Miami. Top Bin 305 coming soon. We'll see you boys. I'm getting an apartment in Brickell.
Sold out,
Moving
man.
down there,
Sold out.
You know what I'm saying?
See
Building
that?
our relationships
This
down
man
there.
sold out.
I'm gonna interview Messi, Suarez,
Sold out.
Busquets, all of them, right? You know, I'll be like, yo, I've been a lifelong Inter Miami fan. I'm
Sold
kidding.
out, man.
I'm kidding.
Sold out.
You
Hey,
find me
show us
at
the
Top
bottom
Bin
of your t-shirt.
commercials.
You kept on holding up your t-shirt earlier, but we can never see the bottom of the.
Just all you got to see is the Miami.
All right. Okay. Hey. All right. All right.
Man, sold out. JT, where can people find us?
At CLTFC Fan TV on Twitter, Instagram, of course, here on the YouTubes and other places. Please subscribe, like, do what you can, when you can, how you can, people. Thank you for hanging out with us. I've had such a good time tonight. Thank you, Vaughn. Thank you, Jorge. Thank you, Lee, with your beautiful, damn, half-ass, basic-ass background.
Dude.
In the near future, I know you're moving.
No.
I'm not going
to say anything.
I get it.
That's it. So,
Anyway,
that being said, good night,
Saturday,
everybody.
get there. Let's go.
Come find us outside the out of the supporters entrance for your fan interviews, and there'll be no
After the
questions
game.
about. What the hell's Jorge doing? All right, see you later. Night.
Messi celebrate